What's going on, guys? Dave here, and we have our first look at the preliminary patch notes for 0.9. I will preface this by saying that there's some stuff in here. I'm not really sure what it is myself, but I'm sure any of the major gunheads out there watching this may be able to shed some light on what some of these new weapon parts we got are. So let's get started with the first thing, which is probably the item I'm happiest with and most excited to see implemented in the game, is the introduction of Scav Bosses. So this has been hinted at before. This has been hinted at on the EFT podcast with Clean and Nikita. So the Scav boss is essentially a super Scav who is defended by multiple other Scavs. I'll just read the description here. First of all, he can be found at dorms and gas station on customs. So that will be after the factory shortcut on customs, and then, of course, the dorms. His leadership skills allow the dealmaker to easily pull together a posse of former factory workers. Well armed, they continue to force their own rule in Tarkov. The dealmaker prefers to avoid fair fights, quickly retreating to a safe place and leaving his guys to deal with the enemy. The boss does not make an appearance on location every time, but with a certain chance. So he will be there every raid, and apparently himself and his crew come packing. So I don't know what this is going to mean. Are we going to see fully decked out guns like we could find in the Kibis store? Maybe they'll have different kinds of weaponry that we haven't seen before. It would just be like general spawns or scav spawns. So I'm looking forward to that. It should be pretty cool. Just add some, you know, depth to the game. So moving down, we've got added flashbang grenades, added smoke grenades. These have been hinted at for the longest time, and they finally seem to be being added. This is a cool thing here as well. Added NVIDIA highlights, recording episodes of your firefights if your graphics card supports this technology. I'm not sure if this means that we can like look at our fight from different perspectives, or it's just going to record it from our point of view. We'll have to see more when this gets released, because this sounds pretty cool for content creators. We finally have added armbands of basic colors, so now you can identify your teammates. Then these are all new weapon modifications. We got the Vulcan Mg scope eye cup, so that's going to be an eye cup for a new scope we're getting. We've got an EOTech Voodoo 1 to 6x scope, so I imagine that's going to be a very, very variable new long range, close range scope that we're going to have. So I'm not sure if this means it goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 6 times magnification, or it's just a 1 to 6 magnification. I'm not 100% sure. It's probably 1 to 6, but I guess we'll see. We've got the Night Force, a 30mm mount for sights installation, so that's just the new scope mount. We've got the Armasight Vulcan Mg Bravo 3.5 night scope, so this is a new night scope. Maybe it'll be more useful than the first night scope we got to see, which is pretty much useless. You're usually just better off putting a flashlight on your gun if you're going to run a night raid, or just buy a set of NVGs. We have the Armasight installation base for the Vulcan Mg 3.5x. So I take it the Vulcan Mg 3.5x. This is going to be the mount for it. It's going to be similar to the Trigicon. We're going to need a mount for it to slide it onto whatever gun you want. And then we've got the Zenith 2U Clash tactical flashlights. We've got a new tactical flashlight. It's always cool to see more attachments coming in. The Annihilator flash hider for 7.62x39 and 5.56x45 and 9mm. So we've got a new flash hider. It's pretty cool. Bridge type mount for the P226, rubberized pistol grip for the P226. Maybe, I don't know. I don't understand why the new attachments for the P226, but fair enough. I mean, I'm sure some people out there have fun with pistols, but I mean, I use pistols from time to time, but I mean, why use a P226 when you can use a Glock with a 50 rounder, you know? But yeah, I guess, you know, more variety is better. More choice, we can do what we want with it. We got the EMOD stock, so it's going to be new stock. Doesn't say for what gun. Maybe it's a general stock for multiple rifles. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. The Salvo 12 sound moderator adapted for carbines, SOK, VPO, etc. So this is a new suppressor, I'm assuming, for carbines and for the 209 VPO. And the SOK. I'm not sure what the SOK is, but it's some kind of new suppressor anyway. We got the Siler & Co. Salvo 12 sound moderator, so that's just going to be another new suppressor. I'm assuming it's sound moderator. I'm guessing it just makes your gunshots quieter, but it's not quite a suppressor. I'm not sure. I've got the 6-hour Romeo 4 reflex sight, the 6-hour mount for Romeo sight series. So we've got new reflex sights, which is pretty cool. I'll take it. Any kind of new optics, I'm always ready to get my hands on them. I'm kind of getting a bit bored of the PK06 and the P1X. It's always nice to see them adding new sights. We've got a 10-inch Alexander Arms rail mount, the 3-inch Alexander Arms rail mount, the Hollow Sun HS401G5 reflex sight. So that's a new sight again, and then we've got new mounts, a 10-inch mount and a 3-inch rail mount. So I mean, if this means more flashlights on a shotgun, I'll take it. I'm not really sure what we'll use these for, but I guess we'll see when the patch drops. Rifle length MK10 handguard for AR-15s. And compatible. Now, when they say AR-15s, I'm assuming that includes the M4, or I don't know. That could be a hint at them actually adding AR-15s to the game. I would assume so. I guess we'll see as we read down through the patch notes. I just skimmed through these quickly earlier. 30mm mount burst produced ARPEPR for sight installation. ARPEPR for sight installation. I'm not really sure what that is, but I'm assuming it's a new optic. You just have to wait and see. Burst full field TAC 30, 1:4 by 24 scope. Jesus, okay, so that's a super long range scope then, but with varying degrees of magnification. That's pretty cool. Combo kit handguard and gas tube by Troy Industries. So if I had to guess, this is a new handguard similar to the one that you could buy at level 4 Peacekeeper for, say, your AKs, and the gas tube you can buy at level 3 Peacekeeper. But it doesn't say for what gun, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. That's always cool, though. I'm always looking forward to seeing new ways we can customize our AKs and all our other rifles. It's pretty cool. Raptor charging handle for AR-15 and compatibles. So those Raptor charging handles, I believe, are the ones that have the... it's almost like a T-shape at the back of it, and you just grab it with both fingers and pull it back like that. I believe that's that charging handle. Then we've got the Zenith PT1 stocks. We've got a new Zenith stock, probably another folding stock, I would guess. PT stock lock for AKM and AK-74. So this is nice. This means we're going to be able to put... Oh, sorry, no. This is the new... yeah, this is the stock lock for the AKM and the AK-74, because we weren't able to put the PT1 stock on these guns previously, so they've added in that part. Now we can do it. That's pretty cool. We've got the Izmash 7.62 by 39mm magazine for AK and compatibles, 10 round capacity. Okay. Bakelite 7.62 by 39 magazine for AK and compatibles, 40 round capacity, so we've got a new 40 round mag. G18C, so these are all the new this is all the new Glock stuff. The G18C is the fully automatic version of the Glock, I believe. So that should be pretty cool. I'm excited to see that. I've had people telling me that apparently it has 300 more rounds per minute than the MP5 currently does in game. So essentially we're looking at an APS or an APB on steroids when we're looking at the new Glock. So that should be pretty cool. We've got the Zukov S stock for the AK. Again, another stock for the AK variants. DS Arms Holland type rear sight for the SA58, foldable stock adapter for the SA58, extreme duty receiver cover for the SA58, the Tapco saw style black pistol grip for the SA58, DS Arms 3-prong Trident 7x62 by 51 flash hider for the SA58, and the FAL and SA58 20 round magazines. So we've got the SA58 coming in as a new rifle, and we also have the FN FAL being added as a new rifle, which is cool. We've been waiting for the FAL for quite a long time, and we got to see a sneak preview of the SA58 in one of the more recent Escape from Tarkov podcast with Nikita. So all I know about the SA58 is that it has an insane amount of recoil, but depending on how we're going to be able to mod it when it eventually comes out, we might be able to reduce that to a usable level. Either that, or it's just going to be a single shot, hard hitting, just monster of a rifle. Just judging by the way it kicks. Either that, or it's just going to be one of those guns that you go in and absolutely rinse people close quarters in the factory with. Moving on from that, we have handguard with rail mounts, 280mm barrels for the SA58, the F93 Pro stock. I'd assume that's for the FAL and the SA58. The LAS/TAC2 Steiner tactical flashlight, so that's a new tactical flashlight again. lightweight pistol grip for AR-15 compatible weapons, the SE5 Express tactical grip, the Fab Defense UAS stock for AK, so another AK stock. This is cool. We've got the Tapco Saw-style pistol grip for the SKS, the Tapco stock tube, the Tapco Intrafuse polymer stock for SKS, and the Troy QARS mounts. So this is some love for all those SKS users out there. That should be pretty cool. New stuff for the SKS. It's been a long time since we've ever had anything new come out for the SKS, so I'm excited to see what that is. And here we've got some new equipment, some really interesting stuff. And here we've got an armored visor for the Kiver. I'm not really sure how viable this is going to be, but I mean, you know, do what you will with it. I'm assuming if it's for the Kiver, then it's going to be a class 2 armor. Maybe a class 3. I'm not 100% sure, but I guess we'll see when it comes out what it's like. We'll get Anton to do his testing on it, and he'll tell us if it's useless or not. We've got the BNTI Kirasa N body armor. So this is a new body armor along with the IOTV Gen 4 body armor. Now there's 3 different variants of this. We've got the mobile assault variant and full protection. So I'm assuming that we might be able to buy the base model of this and add plates to it to give it the mobile variant, the assault variant, or the full protection variant. So this could be an armor class above 4. We'll just have to wait and see when this comes out. And we have another 511 TacTech armor plated vest. So that's a new vest again. This is going to be some really interesting stuff to test out once the patch actually drops. Adding new armor to the game. I mean, why not? Like, right now the meta is a Fort Gazelle, everything else meh, you know what I mean? Even helmets wise right now in Tarkov, you're looking at, I mean, like Alton visors, or sorry, Altons with visors being the only viable form of head protection. Unless it's up against like shotguns or, you know, low caliber rounds, but like we're not really running into that kind of ammunition this late in the patch. It's only going to save you from scavs. So yeah, new armor to test out. That's gonna be pretty cool. Got a Black Hawk Commando chest harness, so a new rig, possibly plate carrier, I'm not sure. And a tactical beta 2 combat pack. Again, not sure what that is. That could be some kind of new medication. And a tactical beta 2 combat pack. I'm not sure what that could be, but it might have something to do with medication. A Momex balaclava, so just more cosmetic stuff. The LSHZ helmet, so that's a new helmet being added in. Probably won't be the same as an Alton or better than an Alton. We'll have to wait and see. The GP5 gas mask, I'm assuming is just another cosmetic. The 6B34 ballistic glasses, so I would take it they're cosmetic, but you never know. They might have an armor value to them. Maybe they're just to stop with fragmentation grenades. They might protect you against that. Deadly skull mask, so we've got a new cosmetic there. Shattered lightweight reinforced mask, so these are all cosmetics. The DevTac Ronin ballistic helmet, another new helmet there. We'll have to check out when it drops. The pom-pom hat, Miltech booty, bandana, neoprene face mask, the Shimog V2, the USEC cap black, and the bear cap in black. And then we have another new helmet here, the Highcom Striker ACHHC Triple IA helmet in 4 different colors. We've got olive, black, coyote tan, and wait, they have black in there twice. Okay, look, we'll let you off, man. It's fine. But we've got a new helmet here. I would assume that this is going to be better than, probably not as good as an Alton, but better than a fast MT, I would guess, by the sound of it. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And then we have the armbands, which we spoke about earlier, which is going to be really nice. As an identifier for your teams, but then, you know, what happens when you run into another squad that's using the same color armband as you know what I mean? So we'll just have to wait and see. And then we have the Glock 18C. We spoke about this earlier. The DS Arms SA58 OSW Para 762x51. So those are the new weapons. And this is something I'm really excited for. We've got 5 new mechanic tasks, 4 new ragman tasks, and 5 new skier tasks. Probably going to be related to obtaining the new items in order to unlock the new equipment that we have access to. We've got new containers and new loot locations on factory, woods, and customs. I feel like customs does need this. Woods probably could do with it too. Factory, I mean, there's 4 pretty good loot spots on factory already, just given the new weapon crates they added. You also have the safe, the breach room, and the factory room itself. I mean, factory for me is all about getting into a fight. I don't know why you'd want to be going around looting on factory when it's all about PvP in there, but to each their own. This is pretty cool as well. We've added new paid extractions on customs and interchange, which should be pretty interesting. We'll have to see what those are. I have no idea what the paid extract on customs could be. As for interchange, Jesus, I've got no idea. I remember we were talking before about a paid extract on interchange would be pretty cool if you could get up to the roof and there'd be a helicopter there waiting for you. I was talking about that a couple of weeks ago, and a few buddies of mine thought that'd be a cool idea. Now we've got some gameplay changes. We've adjusted loot spawn chances on all maps, price rebalance for weapons, grenades, and weapon mods. So they're changing the prices of weapons, grenades, and weapon mods again. Increased price of powerful ammo, so your more powerful ammo, your M61s, your BS rounds, your M995s, all going to be more expensive with the coming patch, I would assume. Increase the internal size of ammo cases, is now 6x6. That's a nice change. I always said for the longest time that those weapons cases, or sorry, the ammo cases, way too low in capacity. They should have been much bigger from the start. Vests and headsets can now be put into items cases. Thank God. Incredibly frustrating how we couldn't put all this stuff into items cases before, but now we're going to be able to further clean up our stashes. I'm sure these standard users will be jumping for joy with that change. Reduced mouse sensitivity while aiming through high magnification scopes. Fair enough, but that should be something we should be able to change ourselves. Change some quest rewards, change some quest requirements, changed alpha vest configuration, increased penetration of SP5 and SP6 rounds. A little bit salty about this one. I sold all my VSSs and ASVALs last night. I don't know. I feel like in the current state of the game, those guns are just very bad. They do next to nothing to fort currently. Unless you're aiming for the face. I mean, fair enough, but if you're going to aim for the face, the MP5 is a much cheaper, is a much cheaper solution to using an ASVAL with incredibly expensive ammo, not to mention the guns themselves are very expensive. The MP5, personally, I was thinking about making a video on it, is my own favorite factory weapon. You come up against people with fast MTs, you just spray their face hitbox and they drop. I've done it countless times on stream. The ASVAL just runs out of bullets way too fast compared to a 50-rounder MP5. The only problem is, of course, if you come up against somebody with a fast MT visor or an Alton visor with an MP5, you're not going to have that penetration value that you need to get through that. So going for the legs works sometimes, doesn't always work. It's worked out for me a few times, but it'll be nice to see the ASVAL and the VSS back to where they should be, and that is at the very top of the gun chain. As far as I'm concerned, they are the two best guns in Escape from Tarkov currently, so it'll be nice to see those ammo types be buffed again. Various adjustments of weapon mods and armor parameters. So we've got more changes to weapon mods and armor parameters again. Guys, go to Anton's YouTube channel. I will not be doing an analysis on Armor Man. I don't know how he does it, but I'll leave that to Anton. Optimized geometry of level objects and improved collection of crash dumps. So this optimized geometry of level objects is going to be good for reducing lag and desync. This is mostly on the shoreline location, I would assume. So we'll just have to wait and see what those optimized geometries end up doing for the overall playing experience on maps that have a lot of shit in them, because that's apparently what causes a lot of the lag and the desync, is just because there's so many items and so much geometry going on, and that's what locks your game up and slows it down when just grenades go off or gunfire starts and you've got the muzzle flashes and everything. That's why the lag and desync on shoreline can seem so brutal sometimes. So we've got some other fixed issues here. Fixed various glitches, lack of visibility and audibility of shots from the SR1MP for other players. So that's nice. Armor now stops the bullet flight correctly if there was no penetration. So I'm assuming this means that if the bullet didn't pen, it doesn't actually go through your armor. I'm not entirely sure what they mean by this. Armor now stops the bullet flight correctly. So I would guess that means that before there was a chance that the bullet would still go through the armor even if there was no penetration, still causing you damage, which is obviously not something you want in the game. Kind of defeats the purpose of armor. Fixed incorrect dimensions of certain items, other visual fixes, additional 0.9 patch changes. We've got further freezes and stuttering fixes, further improvement of anti-cheat, work on disconnects associated with anti-cheat, further optimizations of the graphical and functional component, preparation for the animation optimization phase, and various other bug fixes. So more anti-cheat stuff, more optimization stuff, you know, the usual stuff we see every patch. So it'll be nice to see whenever all of this does eventually come out. We got another couple of bits here, additional changes. Oh, is this just somebody commenting? Yeah, that's just somebody commenting on the post. So yeah, guys, that is the rundown on the preliminary patch notes for patch 0.9. If anything changes, I'll be sure to make an updated video on this. Thank you very much for watching my patch rundown video. If you guys know any more information on any of these items, for all you gunheads out there, if I got something wrong, please feel free to correct me. You guys can also catch me live on Twitch. At the time this video is being uploaded, I should be live. You can find me at twitch.tv/tweak_GG. The link will be in the description. Thanks a million for watching, guys. Enjoy the new patch.